Good morning. Come in my kitchen with me. I'm going to show you what I eat in a day in order to lose weight on the Eat to Live diet. I still have some pounds left over from my pregnancy, 4 actually, and I have another 10 or 15 that I want to get lower to get down to my lower nutritarian goal weight for lifetime maintenance. So I'm still working on this, and this is what I would typically eat if I wanted to lose weight. Now the recipes that we're looking at today are the first set of recipes in one of the recent 21-day challenges that we did, and I have used these, they work for weight loss, and so I'm gonna show them to you today. Keep in mind, whatever recipes I give you and quantities, only eat what makes you comfortable and not stuffed, right? You wanna be full at your meals, but you don't wanna be stuffed. So only eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, and this will ensure very, very easy weight loss. It works for me every time, so I'm gonna show you this set of meals, and the recipes are in a PDF that is attached to this video. If you go to thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets, sign up for those and you can get the PDF of recipes, but this is also in the 21-day challenge. So you can get these recipes as well as 21 days and grocery lists and meal plans and all that worth of recipes and all that. So you can get that. Links for everything is down below in the description. Let's get in my kitchen. I'll show you what I'm gonna make today. Okay, I always start out with some matcha green tea. That's my favorite thing to start with, and I just do a little bit of milk in there. So here's what I do. I have a bunch of matcha green tea because I got the hookup from my friend, and Izumi, she lives in Sarasota, and she has the best matcha tea in the whole entire world, and you have to check it out, because if you've ever had matcha tea before and you didn't love the flavor, you've got to try ours because it is so mild and it's so good for you. It's got all of the leaf. Instead of just steeping the nutrition out, you just actually grind up the leaf, the whole tea leaf. Let me show you. And then you just mix that straight into the water, and that is matcha green tea. So it's kind of like drinking a whole food, which is crazy. And there's a link for that down below in the description. On my website shop, you can get that matcha tea. Totally amazing, straight from Japan. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So I have this frother, and I'll put a link for this too. And then I just have my little measuring thing, 1/4 teaspoon. So I always start with a little bit of cold water because then it will end up being the right temperature. So I just take just over 1/4 teaspoon-ish, something like that. Not focusing very well. Dump that in there. And then I put a little hot water in. So it's warm. You never want to put boiling water on matcha tea because it will just cook it and it will change the nutrient content. And I use this frother to mix it up. It's running out of battery, so I have to put a new battery in it. And then I take some soy milk. I like the unsweetened plain soy milk. I just put a little bit in there, and then I froth it with this frother. It works so good to get some nice froth. See? Lots more water, hot water, to get it nice and warm. And it's done. Okay, first thing of the day. Perfect, this is the perfect temperature. Just go ahead and drink it too. I don't like to have really hot drinks, and actually Dr. Freeman is always talking about how very hot drinks like coffee and things like that are not good for our esophagus and our bodies. So this is nice, not hot, just warm. So it is 8:30. This is about the time when I usually have my matcha. Sometimes I have a little bit earlier. Because there is soy milk in here, there's some protein. So I count it as the first thing that I sort of eat for the day. And I only eat when I'm hungry, and I stop when I'm full. This is something that I have been working on in my own life, and it's something that we work on in my program, the Eat to Live family. I help you understand the hunger scale and how to recognize hunger and how to stop when you're full, some techniques and things like that. And so I'm gonna have this now. This will obviously not fill me up, but it will be my first set of calories. So I'm not gonna eat again until I'm hungry again, until I feel that feeling. And I'll show you what I'm gonna have then. It's gonna be a smoothie, and we'll just continue on like that during the day. I already have my soup made, so I'll just show you what it looks like, and then I'll give you the recipe for it, and I'm gonna show you my salad as well. Okay, so bottoms up. I'll see you soon. It just occurred to me that I don't often talk a lot about the strategy that we use in the Eat to Live family to help folks lose weight and become consistent on the Eat to Live lifestyle. So I just wanted to share that with you because I do the same strategy in my life, and I'll show you what that is. So here is the actual, here, let me get over here. The recipes that I'm following from this particular challenge. This is the first set of recipes. It starts with this cherry pie smoothie. You guys can screenshot this if you want, but I also have that PDF. Then it's Melita's Caesar salad. Melita is one of our Eat to Live family members, and she gave us this salad. I really like this salad. I like to add a little bit more balsamic vinegar to the dressing, or just splash some on my salad when I have it. But I love these chickpea croutons. Such a good salad. And then the other recipe is a simple bean soup, and I already have this one made in the fridge, so I'll show you that. But this is the recipe. Super simple to make, and it's really hearty and filling. It makes a great dinner. So that's the sets for this particular day. Let me show you how we lay it out in our challenges. This is how we do our 21-day challenges, and I want to show you kind of how the calendar works, the prep instructions. So we would tell you exactly what to prep 2 days before, and we break it up for you so that you don't have to cook all day long and prep for like 4 hours on a Sunday. You just do a few things. So you get your bananas together, you get your mushrooms going. So now your mushrooms and bananas are set for the whole 21 days. You make this first bean soup on Sunday, which literally takes like 15 minutes, hands-on time. And then you prep your Caesar salad, which takes probably another 15 minutes max, 20 minutes maybe. And then you are so ready to go for the next day. We do this in sets, and this is sort of proprietary how we do this. And the reason we have so many reasons why we do this, and it's kind of like, just trust me. The reason we do this is because by day one, you know, you're green at these particular recipes. You don't know much about these recipes yet. So you make them the first time, get used to them, see what you like, see what you don't like. You can sort of modify a little bit the next day if you want to. By the third day, you're like, all right, I'm ready for some new recipes, because you're getting kind of sick of these ones, but you're such a pro at them already that now they are ingrained in you, and you know exactly how to make these recipes. You know how to change things up. That's why we do it in 3-day sets. You can do 2-day sets if you want to, if you prefer that, but we do 3-day sets on purpose, so you get really good at the recipes, and so it becomes second nature for you. Then we have this set up, so we have now split up the prep instructions for the following set. So for instance, you're gonna be making the carrot soup on this one and making the orange oats. So your breakfast is done, your dinner is done. If you just make this 2 days ahead, your dinner and breakfast are done for the next 3 days already. And then you make the dressing for your salad, and you get your mushrooms out of the freezer. So now you are set up to get all your G-bombs in, and then you go on to the next day and you have the next set of meals for 3 days, and then you have prep instructions for the next set. So that's how we set up our 21-day challenges. I wanted to show you that because I think that's really important. We help you understand that Eat to Live does not have to be overwhelming. It's not at all. You're getting stuff done, and we call this rolling prep, where you do little things every day. And so once you've done 4 or 5 days of rolling prep, you just do a little bit every day, and some days you don't have to prep at all, and you're set. Like, your meals are ready to go. So that's that. I want to show you what I do with my, so in the mornings, this is what I do, and this is what I teach in the Eat to Live family too. If you guys are interested in joining the Eat to Live family, you can sign up for the wait list. I'm not sure when we're opening again, but it's thewateringmouth.com/family. Just sign up for the wait list there, and then when we open again, you will be notified. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I plan. One of the most important parts of the program that I teach in my private coaching and our group coaching and Coach Nancy's coaching as well is planning ahead of time. It's important because it engages your prefrontal cortex. It engages the rational side of your brain instead of the screaming automatic cravey side of your brain. When you pre-plan your meals, and it does not have to take a long time, don't let that stress you out. It's like 3 minutes a day. That will save you so much hassle for the rest of the day, just knowing what you already, you know, have decided. And you know, those times where you're like, it's like 5 p.m. and you're starved and you don't know what you're gonna eat, and so you just go to the easiest thing that's around. Well, you can stop doing that by just planning the morning earlier. Like, just, what do we have in the fridge? What could I make? What's available? You will automatically eat less. I think it's like 20% less if you just plan your meals ahead of time. It's huge. It's such a huge thing. And then you're not crazy overeating. If you just plan for what kind of hunger you have, what different varying levels of hunger you might have, what you could eat, just planning it ahead of time and knowing like, okay, if I have a sweet tooth after dinner, remember I have oranges, right? I can have an orange after, or I could make a quick protein shake if I wanted. If you've planned it and you eat that food, it's better than having a ton of popcorn or, you know, and then some crackers and then this and then that, and then you just overeat after your meals, right? You at least have a plan. You're gonna eat less than you would otherwise. So I'm a big proponent of planning. We talk so much about that in the Eat to Live family, and I give you lots and lots of details about how to do that and what to do if you don't wanna follow your plan, you wanna like be the rebel and all that kind of stuff too. We talk about that in there as well. But I'm gonna show you how I typically plan. So I have a notebook. I always have a notebook on my counter here. For instance, this was my plan for February 3rd. What I was gonna have was matcha, no milk. I was gonna have salad, grapefruit, and some juice. I was gonna have oatmeal and juice, veggie juice, right? I was gonna have soup, and this is my typical protocol anyways, is like, you know, salad, oatmeal, soup, smoothies, basically. I call that my Fab Five. And so that was my plan, and that's as like in depth as it has to be. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? Like this was my plan one day. So simple. It took me literally a minute to write that down. But what I wanted to show you, one of the most important things that I do is I actually get my calendar out at the same time, and I plan things based on what's on my calendar, because I need to know what's realistic about how long it takes to make a meal, to get it ready for me to eat it. Do I have time to make that? Do I have time to eat it, right? Because Eat to Live meals typically, especially salads, tend to take a lot longer than a typical meal. You know, if you're not chewing for 30 to 45 minutes, that salad wasn't big enough, right? So you need some actual time to not only get the salad ready to go, hopefully you've done a bunch of pre-prep earlier so it makes it easier, but then you need time to eat it too. So are the meals realistic for the day that you have? So what I would do, I would kind of look at what the meals are. So I have a soup, I have a salad, I have a smoothie. I would go, all right, it's gonna take me 15 minutes to make the smoothie. And then I would look at my calendar and go, all right, so this is my calendar for today, March 2nd, 2022. I have a 9:30 meeting. I have to do laundry and pack today for our trip tomorrow. I have a coaching call with my coach Paige at 1. And the rest of the day, my task for the day is to film a what I eat in a day video for you guys, which I'm doing right now. And I would look at all these things that I have to do, see where my spaces are, and see when I can make things. So just looking at this, I would go, all right, so smoothie's gonna be here, salad's gonna be here, and then soup is gonna be directly after probably, because I don't like to eat too late. I like to be done eating by like 4 or 5 o'clock. And I like to have a really large meal for lunch, because then it really fills me up, and then I don't need any dinner. I feel totally satisfied. I sort of just usually do that. That's kind of intermittent fasting. I don't really mean to do it. It's just what ends up working for me best. So I already had my matcha up here, and I don't feel hungry yet, but I can tell I'm gonna get hungry pretty soon. So that'll be perfect timing, because after my meeting, then I can come downstairs and have my smoothie. Now, if you have a job where you're outside of the house, what you'll wanna plan for is when your lunch break is and when your other breaks are where you could actually eat the smoothie. You wanna make the smoothie maybe the night before or the morning before, and take that with you, right? And have a salad with you perhaps, or whatever meal you're gonna have. Just have it with you, just sort of plan it out. When are you gonna eat that? So I would have my smoothie here, and I have plenty of time to make it and have it. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I have another coaching call here, then my salad's gonna be after that. So I'm gonna plan to make and prep my salad at this point. Oftentimes, I'm not very good at prepping a salad right before I eat it. So typically I find in order to eat a salad, I have to have prepped it earlier. But today, since I'm filming a what I eat in a day, I have more motivation to prep the salad. So I'm gonna prep it for you right on camera and show you that little Caesar salad. But I have some time thinking about my meetings and stuff. I have 20 minutes before my next meeting. I'm gonna make those chickpeas really quick with you on camera, okay? So I have just planned out my meals. What I would do is actually write this down in my notebook just so I have it for reference. I'd be like breakfast. So I had matcha with milk. I would say smoothie. And I would probably put like, this would be about 10 a.m. And then I would go, lunch is gonna be a salad, probably soup, I can't write, and that would be like orange or fruit and berries, or like berries. Really, like, my writing is terrible, but I know what it says, sort of. And then I would go, okay, so I have a call at 1, And then I go lunch is probably like 2 p.m. And then, so these are kind of like the things that I need to have after the meal, because I know I'm going to be a little bit cravey and want something sweet afterwards. So I'm like, I'll just have berries or an orange, maybe an apple. I wouldn't have all of this, but I would just have 1 or 2, but the berries for sure, probably. The salad, the soup, this would all be one big meal. And by the end of this, I would be so full that then that would just get me through the rest of the day. So I know my body, and I know that if I ate all this for one meal around 2, 3, 4 p.m., I would be totally satisfied. And I probably will end up doing that. What'll happen is I'll be on my call from 1 to 2, and then I'll stick around at my desk for another hour or 2 because that's just how I operate. Then I'll end up getting hungry and I'll be like, all right, now I really have to eat, and I'm gonna come down and show you the salad prep, okay? That's what I would do. You would just plan for whatever's happening in your day, what breaks you have at work, or what breaks you have with your kids, or you know, whatever your life is like. If you're a doctor, when are you gonna have a break to be able to eat this stuff? I used to have a client who worked in a convenience store, and so she was constantly forward facing and she couldn't have, like, you know, meals behind the counter. And so we worked out that smoothies are her best bet when she goes to work. She can put it in a big cup, drink that smoothie, and it will keep her full during her whole shift. And she worked the night shift too, so we just decided like which meal was gonna work where. And it's all about just this logic. Just when are we gonna have this? It's not emotion anymore, it's just logic, right? Like when do we have time? When will we eat it? And once we've made those decisions ahead of time, it's easier to stick to it, okay? So I'm gonna make the chickpeas right now. They're very easy to make, and I'll show you the finished product when I go to make my salad. This chickpea recipe could not be easier, and if you have an air fryer, it's even easier. I know Dr. Fuhrman talks about not using air fryers because of the heat cooking, and that's fine. So if you don't use air fryers, just disregard what I'm about to say about the air fryer. I personally use it in my kitchen because it just saves me so much time. So this is just the easiest recipe, and it also gives you a really great portable snack, which now that I'm thinking about it, we're going out of town tomorrow, maybe I should make extra so I can bring them with me. But anyways, so all you do, I took a can of chickpeas and rinse them and keep them wet. Put them in the bowl so that they're still wet, because then the spices will stick to them. I'm just gonna throw on some, I'm not even gonna measure because it's not like these are calories or something. I like the flavor. Put a bunch of onion powder. I'm gonna put a bunch of garlic powder. And then one of my favorites is Mrs. Dash Extra Spicy, or I just like the regular tomato basil garlic. That's super yummy too. I'm gonna put a bunch of that on there. And then about a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I'm gonna put that on. And then you just mix. So those spices will distribute. Do not need oil for this. Throw it in the air fryer. 15 minutes, but I'm gonna put it down to 320 and go when you're done. You can cook these for longer too, depending on how dry you like them. Another trick for crispy chickpeas in this way is if you do it in the oven, it's actually better because you can cook them for about 45 minutes, turn the oven off but leave the door closed, and it will dry out the chickpeas even more. When you do it in the air fryer, the heat escapes really quickly, so it doesn't dry them out as much. I don't care, but if you want them really, really crispy, you can do it in the oven that way. Okay, so then our chickpeas are ready for the croutons for our little Caesar salad. I'll see you at lunchtime. Okay, just as I suspected, I got working for a little while after that call and I forgot to eat. And actually one of my contractors was like, don't forget to eat. I was like, good thing you said that because I forgot. I started to get hungry. As we talked about before, this is something you wait till you're hungry and you don't eat before then, right? So now I'm actually really starved, and that's not a good idea because then you end up overeating stuff or snacking or whatever. But I'm at a place right now where I'm committed to this what I eat in a day plan today because I'm making the video, so it's a little easier, but just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm making this smoothie. This is the cherry pie smoothie, as we call it. I add a small apple to it as well because I like it to be a bit sweeter, and I find that it doesn't affect the weight loss part for me. So decide if you want to do that or not. So here's what I'm putting in it. We are gonna do cabbage, 12 ounces. I'm also gonna chop up my salad for lunch while we're at it because I find that is the biggest indicator of whether or not I will eat a salad, is if my lettuce is like chopped, washed, ready to go. If it's not, 90% of the time I won't have the salad, so I'm going to take care of myself today and make sure that that's done early. Okay, I'm gonna weigh it. By the way, this knife block is the best thing in the whole entire world. I'll link it in the description. 1.82 ounces. Take this over here. I also have my romaine. So 12 ounces of cabbage plus the romaine. I gotta wash the romaine yet. Frozen cherries, frozen bananas. Cherries can count in your berry allotment for the day, so that's cool. I always have these on hand because they make such a great quick smoothie. These with some greens, some almond milk. Oh, and we need our frozen bananas. Ginger, cinnamon, flaxseed. Okay. You have to see the color of this smoothie. It is the most fun thing ever. Red cabbage, side note, is the most high antioxidant, most healthiest vegetable for the cheapest. So it is the most nutrient and caloric sort of bang for your buck monetarily. So great thing to be cooking with. And now because we don't have any room in the Vitamix, I gotta blend this first. So I'm gonna put the liquids in. About a cup of plant milk, unsweetened. I'm gonna put in enough water so that I like the consistency. Now check this out. This is my favorite part. Watch this. Look at how beautiful that is. It's just the prettiest color. I love it so much. And I'm gonna show you a fun trick. I'm gonna chop the lemon, cut it in half. I'll squeeze the lemon into a container and then I'll pour it in. All right, watch what happens, the chemical reaction in color when I pour the lemon juice onto the antioxidants of the cabbage. Check this out. It turns it pink. How fun is that? I love it. Okay, I'm a nerd. Bananas, apples, ginger. I love this knife, by the way. I'm gonna link it in the description. It's a very affordable chef knife. The ones that I always had my eye on, I just never bought it because it was so expensive. This one is like less than half the price and I really like it. Cherries, flax. I almost forgot the orange. And a bunch of cinnamon. So much good stuff in this smoothie, it's ridiculous. Okay, and then we blend. Sweet, gorgeous. Look how much smoothie this makes. This is a massive amount of food. A massive amount of fiber, a massive amount of nutrients. I'm not saying you have to drink a smoothie like this every day, but it helps for weight loss so much. And not like limiting your portion size, right? Like limiting portion size I think is the worst thing that we do when we start the Eat to Live diet, because we're thinking we need to have certain portion size, but we just need to eat what we need. Our bodies will tell us what that is. Oh yeah. This is a little thick for me. I'm actually gonna probably want a little more water when I drink it too. So that will make even more smoothie. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Let's test out our concoction. Cheers. I was really hungry. So good. It's nice and sweet. It's sweet enough if you add that apple. You don't have to add the apple, especially if you're watching your blood sugar, but feel free to add the apple. It's not as much of an issue because there's so much fiber in here, but you'll want to be careful with that if you're, keeping your fruits low. But no problem, you can add that apple in if you want for a little extra. You get a hint of cabbage flavor, so if you're not used to that, it's something to just work up to, right? Doesn't make my tongue purple. And you have a nice little kick of ginger in there too, which is really nice. You can drink this smoothie for breakfast, have one or 2/3 of it or something, whatever you can kind of have for a meal. I try to have this whole thing for my first meal of the day. And here it is almost 12. So it's gonna be interesting because this is gonna fill me up for at least 2-3 hours. And then I'll go on to have my salad. So I'm gonna make my salad not too huge because I'm also gonna have soup with it. And I'll have that probably around 2, 3, 4 p.m. And that'll be plenty of food for the day, which means I still have another smoothie left over. So probably my husband will drink it, but if I didn't, I would just use it for the next day, and that's really easy. If you're a more active person, you can totally have the whole smoothie, right? I'm just gonna be eating what my body needs for today to feel full and satiated, and then I will automatically lose weight because this is such low calorie density food. But if you're more active or you're a man, you need more food, feel free to have the whole smoothie, no problem. Now I'm gonna take a moment to just chop my lettuce. So I've been using these romaine hearts for the whole week for my smoothie already. I have already removed the outer leaves and washed those and put them into my smoothie. So I'm just gonna chop these. I'm not even gonna wash them. I'm just gonna chop them and throw them in my bowl for my salad. I always like to use these 2-quart salad bowls. So I know how much is gonna fill me up, because I know when I have a finely chopped salad, this much salad, that's a full meal for me. So I'm gonna have less than that today so I can have soup with it. In this, chopping my salad ahead of time, as I said, is the #1 indicator to whether or not I'm gonna have a salad every day. So I always try to like be very conscious about getting my greens prepped. Pretty good. Oh, and I forgot, my chickpeas are done, but they're not really done. I can tell they're a little bit too soft right now, so I'm gonna put them in for another 15 minutes and then they'll be fine. Then what I have left for my salad is the croutons are all done. The dressing is actually all done. So here's the recipe, and I have it left over in the fridge. So I'm gonna have this with the rest of this salad today. This is my leftover dressing. So you just take all these ingredients, put them into the Vitamix, blend them. You can use a regular blender too if you need to, except this is, it might not be as smooth as you would have in a Vitamix. Then the salad calls for romaine lettuce, onion, chickpea, croutons, and Caesar dressing. So I'm just gonna chop some sweet onion when I go to make the salad, and then it'll be done. I'm gonna also have some soup with this, possibly, because this is actually bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Normally, if I was having a smaller salad, I wouldn't have this much lettuce, but I'm gonna eat this first. And this is the hack, okay? I have what I call a loving rule for myself, that I always eat my salad first, and I have to eat the whole salad before I eat the other component of my meal, which might be soup or whatever. Because what'll happen is I'll start to eat the soup and then I'll get full and then I won't want the salad. But the salad is the most important part for me, for satiety, for nutrients, for all that. So I always wanna make sure that I have my salad first if I'm having a salad that day. So I'm gonna eat this whole thing first. And with this salad dressing recipe, I like the dressing, but I'm gonna be adding a little bit more vinegar to it, like some kind of a balsamic. I'm not sure what yet. Probably lemon. I love that so much. This is the one I use, California balsamic, Simply Lemon. I really like that one, so I'll probably add some of that to it as well, just for some extra flavor. Have the salad, and then I'll warm up some soup, have some soup with it if I want, and then I'll be done for the day. Might have one piece of fruit, and that would be it. So, all right, see you soon. I just put this, I have this little cover I got from Amazon. It's really cool. You just smush it down and then you can just even pick up the bowl with it. It's a good quick cover when you're gonna eat something really soon. Just throw that in there. It's 3:45. I'm running out of time. I always do this where I end up just working and getting really into work, and then I get really hungry. So I'm kind of starved right now, feeling very cravey, very hungry. I know that my next meal is a salad, however, I don't have enough time to eat a whole salad. So I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna do, and I'll just work you through my thought process here. So the chickpeas are done. They're really yummy. They're not as crispy as I've been able to make them in the oven, but that's okay. I really like these as something to just also snack on when I'm in this state. Like when I'm in this condition, I'm really hungry. I like to just have a few of them at a time while I'm making my salad. I do that with mushrooms too, because I figure I'm gonna be eating them in the salad in just a minute anyway. And it helps me to have something like that I would have had in my salad than to just go and eat whatever, nuts and seeds or bread or something like that, right? So I got my salad from earlier. I'm gonna chop up that sweet yellow onion I was talking about. I'm gonna chop that and make my salad. Okay, here we go. Well, that day got away from me. Last video I made was at around 4, and now it's 8:15 p.m. So I'll give you the update on what happened after I made the salad. So I made the salad as I said I was going to, according to the recipe that you can see in the cheat sheet. I did add a little bit of extra store-bought dressing, which came from a salad that I got at a restaurant recently. So it had a little bit of oil in it, but added some really nice flavor to it. I could have added some balsamic vinegar, like I mentioned before too. That would have been really yummy. Just for whatever flavor you're kind of looking for, you can just add a little bit of that to your salad if you want. But the recipe as is really delicious too. I just had it for a few days in a row, wanted to change it up. So had my whole salad, and by the time I was done with it, I had to jet to go get the girls so I could play with them for a while, and I took them to a park. And so the rest of the night we kind of just hung out, put the babies to bed, and here we are. We are packing for a trip right now. Me and Isabella are gonna go back to my hometown. And so it's been interesting because this evening I made some more chickpeas so we could have them for our trip. I made some plant-based waffles so I could bring them for the trip. These are oatmeal banana hemp seed waffles. And I was just putting things together, like the fruit and the things that I'm gonna bring with me, my matcha tea, I'm gonna bring my bananas and things like that. I need to make a sandwich for Isabella. And so I'm telling you all this stuff because it was a challenge this evening to not snack on things because, you know, you're just making stuff for the kids and snacking. And, but the thing was, I had had my salad at around 4 and I was full. I didn't want any more food. I felt totally satisfied. The salad did everything I needed it to do. I had a nice glass of water afterwards because I needed to take one of my pills. And then it was done and I realized I'm done, okay, I'm finished. But that's not all the food that's on the menu plan, right? So I wanna just tell you what else is left. We've already talked about this a little bit, but it's the simple bean soup. So this recipe is in there as well, and I'm just gonna show you how it looks so you know what you're going for. Now, the way that I made this, and remember, like, I still have this whole smoothie left too. My husband will eat that, but this is for the waffles for the girls. I have that whole smoothie left too. So it was just so much food, and it's nice in this respect because then you can decide how much you need, and you just eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're full, you automatically either lose your weight, maintain your weight, whatever you need to do, and you don't have to worry about it because the food is so delicious. Okay, so here's the soup. I made this soup yesterday. This is the simple bean soup. Show you how it looks. Really, really yummy. It's got some nice red beans in there. When soups are made with a tomato base, tomatoes have a lot of natural sodium, so you don't need to flavor it with anything. This soup is delicious as is. You could add like some lemon, or you could add some nutritional yeast or some tahini or something like that. I think when I ate this the first time, I put cashews in. Avocado is like perfect with this soup too. Just a little bit of chopped avocado. Give it some, like a little bit of fat, which is really nice. That's it. So these are your meals for the day. You can have a serving of about 2-3 cups, whatever you want to have of this soup, as long as you don't eat to like way over full. It's all good, okay? That is the set of meals. I know this was a long video, but I had a lot to say about this, especially since it was more of a weight loss video. But feel free to reject all the weight loss stuff if you're not interested in weight loss, because you can just go to your hunger and satiety levels and feel full and get all these amazing G-bombs. The cherries in the smoothie count as the berries, but also in the plan is the ability to have a cup of berries too if I wanted after dinner, but clearly I didn't need any of that today. So just eat to hunger, stop when full. Hope you love these recipes. You can get the PDF for them of these particular recipes, but remember, these are part of a 21-day challenge. So if you want to get 21 days of recipes instead of just 3 days of recipes, you can look for that challenge on my website at thewateringmouth.com/shop. We have tons of 21-day challenges on there. There's also a free 9-day challenge on my website as well, so plenty of stuff like this to keep you going, okay? I hope you love this one. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Is there anything that stood out to you in this video? Let's chat about it. Remember, the recipes are at thewateringmouth.com/cheat sheets. Sign up there and you can get that PDF if you want it. They're also down below in the description if you just want to cut and paste, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.